Good evening, everybody, and welcome into Amsoil Speedway here in Superior, Wisconsin for another night of racing. We'll start with some prelims tonight. The Midwest Modified, 3 heats in all. Give you a rundown of heat number 1. Row number 1, car number 69 belongs to Justin Bassa from Hermantown. Next to him, we have the 15M of Justin Madsen from Foxborough, Wisconsin.
In row number 2, the 02 of Jesse Ogston out of Duluth, Minnesota, alongside the 32 of Cody Carlson from Superior.
And in the third row, we have the 68K of Dan Kingsley from Superior, next to Lance Solom with the 45 car from Duluth.
In the fourth row, the 37X Skeeter Esty out of Kelly Lake, Minnesota.
Again, 3 heats in all tonight for these Midwest Modifieds. This is the first heat of the night. 8 laps in all. Looks like we'll take green on this one. And wait no longer. Prelim number 1 of the night underway here at Amsoil Speedway in Superior, Wisconsin. Not a bad night to be out here. Kind of a weird day. I thought it was going to rain most of the day, Chad. It didn't.
Kind of muggy, kind of wet, but hopefully no rain this evening, and we'll have some awesome racing action to bring you tonight.
As these guys come around lap number 1, we got 7 left on the board. This time by heat number 1 of the Midwest Modifieds.
Your leader, the 02 Jammin' Jesse Ogston out of Duluth, Minnesota. About 3 car lengths in front of the 68K of Dan Kingsley. And no surprise, in third place from the back of the pack, this 37X of Skeeter Esty out of Kelly Lake.
Dan Kingsley's had a really good season thus far, the 68K there. I think last week finished 2nd and 4th in the 2 different features. And he's found his way to the 2nd place for now, but you mentioned the Esty, and anyone with an Esty in their last name, they've had one heck of a season. Yeah,
those Esties are a force to be reckoned with. Good showing so far in this prelim for Jammin' Jesse Ogston. Out front in that clean air, his lead cut down to about a car length now in front of the 68K of Dan Kingsley.
And we have our first caution flag of the night. Just 3 laps in here, we draw a yellow, and that'll slow everybody down as we try to figure out what went wrong.
Looks like the 69 car in turn number 3, between turns 3 and 4.
And that's Justin Bassa, who started in that pole position, the Hermantown native. Didn't see exactly what he got caught up on, but that's not really a surprise on turn number 3 to see those guys. We've seen that a lot.
Seems like a dangerous area on the track to be in. I know they're constantly working on it between every season, and it does seem to be getting better. Still a trouble spot for some of these guys.
And so we'll see if Bassa will be okay and good enough to continue. If not, they will put him on the hooks there, and
he's
it will just be 6.
Pretty hung up on that tire down on the infield.
Of course, tonight also Hall of Fame night here at Amsoil Speedway, along with Vintage Car Night. So lots of exciting things. The vintage cars I saw earlier tonight, they'll be racing, I think, about midway through the evening here, but those are fun to look at.
Oh yeah, something else to see for sure. Old 32 coupes, and kind of harkens back to the early days of dirt track racing. I suppose that's why they call it vintage.
That makes sense. Just 3 laps tonight for Bassa then, as he's going to get towed off. Maybe they'll just try to pull him off the tires, like you said, and he can get back to racing, which would be ideal for him. And it looks like exactly what's going to happen. As you mentioned, just kind of stuck on the inside tires there.
Tough break, but once he's fired back up, he'll have 5 more laps to improve his position in this first of 3 Midwest Modified preliminary races.
And not the way you want things to start off, but at least there's only 6 cars in front of him, so he can still make a move and try to better his position for the future.
Yep, anything could happen. Anything could happen.
As these guys get lined up, another parade lap, I'm sure, as Bassa makes his way, or tries to catch up to the rest of these guys. He'll be at the back of the pack, of course, after that caution flag. It's 7 cars in all here, the Midwest Modifieds. Thanks so much for being with us tonight. Again, I'm Sarah Wheeler, joined alongside Chad Lyons. Our second to last race of the season, and it's kind of been a weird year because of the weather. It's kind of been chopped up.
Yeah, it wasn't, well, last year we had so many delays and all our races were towards the end of the year. We had a good stretch this time around at the beginning of the season. Had to do 4 weekends in a row and then take a break. Seemed like a long break. And right back at it.
And these guys are right back at it as well, as they'll take green this time by. with 5 laps to go here in the first heat of Midwest Modified here at Anza Motor Speedway.
Jesse Ogston hoping to get a really good start and keep control of that #1 position. Dan Kingsley at his left rear quarter panel as they enter through 3 and 4.
And Bassett just goes to the infield. Something not right on his car, so he'll get off the track as the rest of these guys go by. Halfway through the first prelim, they'll be able to continue to race. Bassett, though, he will not.
Caution flag probably about to come out for the 32 car, Cody Carlson, who went a little sideways between 3 and 4 and then just seemed to kind of stall out. Couldn't get her fired back up. There he goes.
That third turn already showing to be tricky here tonight. We've seen that throughout this 2014 racing season. As we see Lance Solom go by, he's got a big piece about ready to fall off.
Yeah, looks like he might have made some contact. Maybe he had something to do with Cody Carlson's incident there in turn number 3.
And hopefully we'll get back to action here once again. Another caution, but not too much damage done. With 4 laps, there's the green. Halfway through Midwest Modified heat number 1, and who will it be? Can Jesse Ogston hang on to that front spot?
Kingsley got a good jump on that front straightaway, and it looks like he is going to lead SD past Jammin' Jesse
And
Ogston.
Solom, I might have just jinxed him. He's stuck on the first turn. It looks like he got loose. We'll see if he can get unstuck back in with the rest of these guys. He's not happy.
He's having a rough night tonight already. Had a tough ending to his night, or his last Friday night.
I know he was working hard throughout the week on his car, just trying to get ready for tonight. So hopefully he can continue and at least make his way to the feature later tonight. And so Lance will join up with the rest of the pack here.
Looks like we're ready to take the green flag.
Lap number 4, we'll try it one more time here.
Jesse.
Third time's a charm.
Jesse Ogston white knuckling around turns 1 and 2, trying to hold off the 68K of Dan Kingsley, who's chomping at the bit to get by him.
Skeeter Essie right on his tail, followed by Lance Solom and the 15 car of Justin Mazin as they go by. Now 3 laps remaining here on the first heat of the night. Kingsley makes a move.
Looks like Jesse went a little wide, kind of slowed him down on the backstretch. Kingsley kind of dug in a little deep there, going through 3 and 4. Let's see if Jesse can make a move as Kingsley leads him down the front straightaway.
Skeeter Esty doing his best to catch those 2 guys. It should be a great finish for first place. We've got 3 different cars, trying to battle for that top spot in the first heat of the night.
Skeeter's just being very patient as they click off these last couple laps. The way he drives and how good his equipment seems to be, he doesn't really need to force the issue.
Certainly no need to on a prelim. Absolutely save it tonight for the feature as these guys go. Kingsley on front, followed by Esty and Ogston.
That clay is balling up and sticky out there, as you can see the huge clumps of it just dropping off all the cars.
And certainly keep an eye on that as the night progresses. For now, Dan Kingsley, the winner of heat number 1 in the Midwest Modified, followed there by Skeeter Esty and the 0-2 of Jesse Ogston. Those guys 1, 2, 3, a couple of cautions, but we made it through. We'll have heat number 2 with Midwest Modifieds coming up next.